Hello, welcome back guys. So this one is a bit of an impromptu one. I was out riding my bike and I got horrible mechanical and now I'm home, so I decided I'm already warmed up, so let's jump straight back into some Zwift racing. I haven't done a Zwift race since before I did my marathon, so that was a good maybe 2 months ago, so hoping to get back into it. Because I was training for that, I spent a lot of time running, so my cycling legs were really not very good. I did an FTP test about a few weeks ago and I got 240, which is not that good for me. That's about 2.4 watts per kilogram, so very much D category. So let's see how this goes. I've been doing a lot of cycling outside recently. The weather's been really nice, so trying to get back into it. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. I'm fully warmed up, so maybe it'll go well, but my Zwift legs might not be there at all. Alright, this is a few laps of LaGuardia Loop in New York. I know the route, but not very well. It'll probably be about 5 laps, I reckon, so it should be quite good. I'm not sure what bike my man's riding. So yeah, let's jump straight into it. Let's get some tunes going and then let's go.
Alright, 5 seconds to go here, and you know it's going to be the typical Zwift really powerful start, so I wind it up early. About 500 watts to begin with, and we are starting. So it's an all category race, so A, B, C's and D's all together, and I'm just going to try to make sure I stick with the C group at the beginning. This isn't too hard. One of the C guys goes off and sits in the B category group, so he's gone already. I know we're not going to beat him, so the rest of this pack which forms, we're just going to stick around with the C's. It doesn't take long for the group to form. There's about 6 or 7 of us at the beginning. It's quite a nice little group. Everyone's got their aero power-ups now, putting in some digs, having to put in about 300 watts just to stick with them. It's a somewhat hilly course. The overall elevation gain by the end of it was about 200 meters. It's just sort of up, down all the time, a very rolling course. Not ideal. I would prefer the flat course with more distinct hills, but it is what it is. Heart rate is already pretty high at 165, still having to put down lots of watts. I hope the group will settle down quite quickly, because I don't know how this is going to go with my legs not being Zwift ready at the moment. I've done a lot of outdoor cycling. I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm going on long endurance rides at the moment. So lots of zone 2 work, just trying to get rid of all of this excess fat. The problem I have with this course is it's always up and down, so whenever there's a hill, you're going to have to surge to try and keep with all the other riders, because I assume, and I always assume this on Zwift, that I'm probably the heaviest guy in the group, so I'm going to have to work as hard as possible on the hills just to make sure I don't lose them. So it's starting to settle down a bit. We've got 16 kilometers to go. By the end of the race, it should be about half an hour. Anyway, like I said before, this race wasn't ideal for me. I just finished an outdoor ride. Well, I say I finished it. I had a mechanical, so I came home. I got a taxi home because I was in the middle of nowhere. So I was fully warmed up. I'd already been riding for like 2 hours. I'd already done 44 kilometers at this point. So I just wanted to get a race in to finish my workout. So this isn't really the best preparation for a race. I was already somewhat exhausted, but it's okay really. I just wanted to get another race in. I thought this was a good chance to do it. Most of this race just ends up me being attacked on the hills and having to try to put in a surge to stick with the group. So let's skip forward a bit to the final 2 kilometers. So 2 kilometers to go here. You can see from the graph at the bottom, there's a lot of red there. That's just where I'm surging up the hills. A bit of rest on the downhills each time, so it's quite a challenging race for me. I'm pretty tired at this point. So one guy is up ahead there. I think he's a D category rider and we're coming through to lap him. So he's nothing to worry about. He's just sort of in the way. It's actually going quite well considering how much cycling I did before on this day. My legs are feeling quite good. I thought this would be a lot more difficult than it actually was. I've raced quite well, managing to stay in the draft most of the time, not having to get dropped or do any silly mistakes like that. So this is where it starts to get interesting. 1.5 kilometers to go. This is the final big hill before the finish line. And you can see on the right here, the Japanese guy is putting 9.8 watts per kilogram here to try and get away. And he does a solid effort there. He gets a lot of time already on us. And I'm surging already to try and get back to him, but I can't do that sort of power for a long time at all. So I decide I'm not going to sprint to try and get back to him. I'm just going to try and surge, do like 300-400 watts till the end, and you can see how big the gap is here. He's got 4 seconds on us, and there's 4 of us here trying to catch up back with him. So I'm just passing this first guy ahead of me. He actually ends up sitting in behind me, and I end up dragging him towards the front of the pack. Is there 4 guys or 3 guys ahead? I can't really tell. Anyway, this is still a slight uphill, so I'm absolutely putting down a lot of power here just to try and keep with them. 180 beats per minute, so I'm really above my threshold power at this point. But you can see it starts to point downwards, which is where it will be in my advantage because I'm heavier, so I should be able to try and catch up with them here. 0.8 kilometers to go, and this is where it gets good. So I've pretty much got back with them, and we are on quite a nice descent, so I get a tiny bit of rest here. Get to put on my aero because I was a bit worried about not catching them. 0.6 kilometers to go, and we have formed into a nice train. I am just about in the right position here. Everyone's ahead of me. I'm in the best position for the draft. 500 meters to go. Let's see if I can do it.
Come on! Yes! Alright, that's that. I was pretty happy with that at the end. I feel like my fitness is actually not too bad. I've only spent about 2 weeks getting back into cycling, so definitely comes back quick, I'll tell you that. Happy I got that guy at the end, the group sprint. There were 2 other guys who went off with the other categories, so they were gone straight away. But very happy to win the best of the rest there. When that guy went up the hill at the end there, I thought he was gone, but I decided I'm not going to sprint to chase him. I'm just going to steamroller it for like 400 watts until the end and then see what I've got left in the legs. And it was just about enough, so yeah, very happy with that. So, hoping to get back on Zwift more regularly now. Trying to get on every Monday at least, but then in a few weeks I'm going back to England anyway, so it's probably not going to be the most consistent, so sorry about that if you wanted to join me. So I ran a marathon. If you haven't seen that video, then check it out up there. That was pretty tough, I'll tell you that, but now back to cycling. Anyway, that's it for this one. See you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Peace out.